So I was going to go for a ride today, but I ended up running out of time because I had a few things to do. So what have I done? I've set up a chest cam, and this is like the first test of this chest cam. I think I've roughly got it in the right spot. I may need to angle it down slightly further, but I've got this chest cam because I think it'll include a bit of footage of the bars, maybe a bit of the top tube, and provide maybe a little bit more of an aggressive image for my videos than the helmet cam does. I'm not really going to talk too much about the chest cam today though. What I want to talk about are Levo Bashguards. So if you own a Turbo Levo, you probably want to protect the motor. Now initially I purchased a Rockguardz carbon fiber protector, and let me just come across here. You can see I've got my stand set up in quite a picturesque spot. Now this camera, I'm probably going to have to tilt this down a little bit. In fact, what I might do is I'll take this off the chest mount and just put it on a like a selfie stick or something. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I've taken the camera off the chest mount, and using a selfie stick for the first time in my life, I'm now coming across to show you guys a couple of options for Bashguards if you want to protect the motor casing on the bottom part of the battery tube on your Turbo Levo. So down here on the left you can see an Amygos protector, and I really don't know if that's a proper pronunciation, made by a guy in France. Really awesome stuff. Also on the right is an English offering. Rockguardz have been well established for many years now, and they do protection for all kinds of bikes. Both these guys are small manufacturers, both have their strengths and their weaknesses perhaps, but both I think are worth considering if you want to protect your Turbo Levo. So if you come across to the bike here, you can see that the battery tube has actually got an integrated rock guard just here, but if you come underneath the bike, I actually hit a rock on like the third day of riding underneath here. That's not part of the battery, this is part of the motor casing here, and it just took off part of the label there. Now what you have to watch out for is that if you hit a rock hard on that motor housing, you can actually crack it. And it won't destroy your motor, it is a replaceable part, but I think it's relatively expensive, and you know, it's something that you might have to wait a few weeks for if you need to replace that part. So pretty much you want to protect this area a little bit more than stock, I think. So a few options like I mentioned. I initially tried the Rockguardz. Now this Rockguardz unit here, it's made up of two parts, and it's like heat molded carbon fiber and epoxy, it looks like. Quite strong, extremely lightweight, and it's got that really nice carbon fiber finish on the actual product. I like that it has two parts. In a way, well, I kind of like that it's got two parts, although I don't think it secures it firmly enough to the bottom of the motor housing. So when you mount this one up, what you have to do is apply a little bit of Invisi tape or other kind of transparent protection to this part of the frame, because this is a press fit. So bear with me, I'll just show you how this presses on. Pretty much you line it up here, there's slight indentations in the molding and they conform to these areas here. So I'll be back with you, I'll just fit this up and then we'll have a look at it. It helped to turn it around the correct way, but you can see that it took me all of 10 seconds to press that on. I think you could possibly, I think for my first fitting I was a little bit tentative, and what I did is I warmed it up in a warm sink of water just to soften it a little bit to make it easier to fit. But really, as long as you've got that transfer protection on there, it's quite a no-brainer. Just press it in, it's quite solid. You can see that, I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but the way I have it sitting, it slightly obscures the plug thing there. So maybe if I slid it this way a little bit more, I would be able to access that, but in a way it does secure that. So when I use this bash plate, it does secure that nicely so it can't get ripped out on the trail. That's where your battery connects to the motor. Now this is two-part, like I said. The other part I don't think is quite as nice as the the tube protector there and the battery protector. This is just a simple Velcro stick-on job. You might want to use some dual lock. So 3M make a product which is like an augmented Velcro, much stronger, but these Velcro pads, I don't know, like I've had this on for probably a week or two, and like it has come loose a little bit. Mostly it's coming loose here where the glue joins onto the base of the motor, so you might want to make sure you really clean that motor housing before you mount this up. So I fitted the motor part of the Rockguard protector to my Levo, and you want to run it underneath the battery tube there. So if you did hit a rock, it will slide over that part and not lift this plate off, because yeah, if a rock caught under the base of this, that would easily peel that off, given that it's only attached via Velcro. So overlap the tube, the battery tube protector over the motor part, and you can see that it's quite a nice carbon fiber modern sort of look, and I think it offers pretty good protection. What happened with me was that I ordered the Rockguardz and it never showed up. Now I didn't get a tracking number, so I'm not sure if that was an admin number, an admin error, but I was waiting for about 4 or 5 weeks for that to show up. It did show up eventually, but I'd kind of lost a bit of hope in it ever turning up, and that led me to ordering another product, the only other product I could find for the Turbo Levo as far as Bashguards go. I'll just do a bit of I might as well walk around here because it's very picturesque. The only other product I could find that sounded like a pretty good solution for the protection of the motor was this Amygos protector from France. I'm going to put details on these protectors into the description of this video, so if you want to just click on those, you'll obviously be able to see where they are, where their sites are and their pricing, etc, etc. I think they're comparatively priced. I think the Rockguardz protection for the Levo cost me perhaps, what was it, like 60 or 70 quid UK pounds, and I think the Amygos setup was quite similar. I did buy a bunch of other stuff from the French guy, and his name's come back to me. It's Antoine, really nice guy. He's a small plastics fabricator, and I think he started his work as an artist, but he's found out that maybe art doesn't pay quite as well as bike parts, so he's making custom molded, obviously some sort of heat molded plastic. I'm not sure, don't think it's injection molded, but I'm pretty sure he uses a type of plastic that he can shape to conform the motor. So he's obviously got hold of a Levo and he's constructed this piece of kit, which varies significantly to the Rockguardz protection. It may not be quite as aesthetically pleasing. If you're after the carbon fiber look, the Rockguardz is perhaps the best alternative, but I think if you want protection for your Levo, something that's not going to be ripped off when you hit a rock, or if your Velcro fails, I would consider the Amygos product. You can see here that it's a one-piece unit compared to the 2-piece Rockguardz, and it's quite a chunky piece. It looks like it's quite heavy, but I can assure you it's very light. It's not quite as light as the Rockguardz, but it's still quite light. And inside this plastic, he's lined it with what looks to be around 5mm thick foam all the way along. This is quite a soft, foamy, cushioning kind of interior surface to that Bashguard. Plenty of drain holes on the bottom there, so if you happen to get some water underneath it, it's going to drain out. There's also some drain holes on the Rockguardz unit there. You can perhaps see just under there. So both units should drain pretty well. This one affixes differently. What we have here are 2 straps, and yeah, if you don't like the look of 2 straps, then you know the Rockguardz is going to be, like I said, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, but once this thing's on, it's pretty solid. I'm just going to refit this now and take the other one off, and then I'll talk a little bit about it. So really simple. For a start, you just press this up, and it'll just, under the molding of the plastic, the molding of the plastic will allow it just to press in place to get it sort of ready, which is just there. So it's just sitting there quite comfortably under its own sort of molded shape. And because I guess there's foam on the inside of that moulded plastic, it does conform nicely, it sits there, but that would obviously not be strong enough if you were going riding and you were catching it on rocks in technical terrain. So Antoine has set this up with a couple of straps. So the first strap's done up nicely solidly on there. The second strap just goes through these little buckles that he's created. Just pop that through there. And yeah, it's just a nice Velcro strap. So I'll just lash that down a little bit. I really have to get a tripod, I think. This is not the best way. I'm mostly a helmet cam vlogger, so when I have to do these instructional videos, I need some sort of better solution. There we go, rock bloody solid. That is really, really, really good. Excellent protection. I think if I had to look at it from a protection standpoint, it's far and away better than the Rockguardz. Aesthetically, probably doesn't look as good as the Rockguardz, but I kind of like it. I like the fact that it protects well, it's beefy, it's padded inside there with foam, and I saw the photos and I like the look of the photos of Antoine's Amygos Bashguard protector for the Levo so much that I ordered, just because he's a small producer and I thought I'd send him a bit more business. I ordered a set of Mudguards, and right now, I don't know if you can look around this paddock here, but down there's a bunch of sheep. Now, we often ride in part of these paddocks down in the channel banks. We do little jump practice and all kinds of other stuff. And the sheep crap in this paddock this time of year. So not only is it a little bit muddy sometimes, but yeah, you're riding along and you ride into some sheep poo, and it no doubt flicks up from the tyre, and it'll hit the back of the seat tube, it'll go up under the seat here, and it'll sometimes even, you know, get onto your back. So look, just to keep the bike nice and clean and not to worry too much about the sheep poo, I've put on a mudguard, and yeah, we're coming into winter riding as well. I know some people think a rear mudguard looks like crap, but I'm just going to leave it there and see how it goes, just for function's sake. I fitted it out also with the front mudguard from Amygos. So yeah, they're both molded plastic units, and I also used his chainstay protectors. He's got two molded chainstay protectors here, which clamp on just under their own sort of molding, but also just popped a zip tie on each side. Removed the stock chainstay protector here from the right-hand drive side, and he's put a sticker on there, and I think it looks kind of nice. So I'm going to roll with this. This is my setup. The Rockguardz protector I probably will try and sell. Now, I know those guys, you know, they're well respected, and I think their product is a good one, but I think in this case for the Levo, I think this Amygos Bashguard is a little bit better for my uses. One more thing to note with this Amygos protector is that under here is the battery plug. So it's completely covered. It's quite a vulnerable part of the bike. I know people have said that they've occasionally ripped those plugs off, and crap can get very easily inside that plug area. So with this protector, you've got full protection, but no hindrance to any of the drive cranks, etc., etc. No hindrance to any of that. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Now, the truth will be, how will it hold up? So I'll be doing a bunch of rides with that on the bike. I've ridden for probably a couple of weeks with the Rockguardz, and they've been fine as well. So look, they are fit for purpose. I haven't hit any really, really big rocks with the Rockguardz, but it's carbon fiber. It's ultra lightweight, ultra strong carbon fiber. I think it would definitely protect your bike from quite a nasty hit. Whether or not the Bashguard holds up, that's another question. But look, Bashguards, like bumper bars, are often sometimes a sacrificial piece between your bike and the object that you crash into. So, you know, even this will get knocked up over time. But yeah, look, if you want to protect your Levo, your Specialized Turbo Levo, and you're thinking about getting a protector, have a look at the Rockguardz products and have a look at Antoine's Amygos products as well. Both will ship internationally. Both are quite willing to give you any advice you may need. And perhaps you don't even own a Turbo Levo, you might want to look at their products for your bike. I know that both Rockguardz and Amygos will sell protectors for any number of bikes, all particular brands they do have protectors for. So have a look at those and see what you can discover. And if you're like me with an e-bike that you want to look after, maybe consider it. Also, thanks for watching. If you happen to enjoy this video, throw me a subscribe and a like if you're into some more content. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get a video out every, perhaps every week. It's a little bit tricky to maintain that schedule sometimes with work, and this is purely a hobby for me, so I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2018, so we'll see what we can do. Let us know if you've got any questions, or if there's something I haven't clarified in this video, then just let me know, and I'll be quite happy to elaborate in those comments. So happy trails. This is Tori from Tori's Trails. We'll speak to you guys next time. Cheers, bye.